absolute fun part in what I call. I don't even know if these are unpopular opinions or anything. I was just sitting there and thinking about my own thoughts as an Arsenal fan, and I thought, you know what, it might make sense to just spit them off with you lot and see where you lot feel, man. Now, I know I'm open to debate and stuff, but these are what I call my non-negotiables, man. But just before I get into that, you're right, Idel. Champions League is every year though, and the same guys watch that exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Once you get past the euphoria of, oh my god, I've grown up with the World Cup every 4 years, you can't change it, and you break it down, it makes sense. You know, again, I'm not for it, I'm not against it. I don't really feel you can pick a side, really. These third world countries should be allowed to host. If so, I mean, the way I see it, it would reduce unnecessary games, which promotes healthy competition. Afro Sambo, that's a good way of looking at it. Fair play. Fair play. There obviously is a lot of knock-on effects that could make it a bad decision, but we'll have to see in time. So yeah, people, I just wanted to offer like my unpopular opinions on like a couple Arsenal unpopular opinions. I don't know if it's going to make sense, but this is mainly to just do with this season. I'm just gonna spit them off. I've got some that I don't feel are that bad, and I've got some that might feel some. You lot might feel some sort of way. So I think I've actually written down some unpopular Mikel Arteta opinions, or what I feel are unpopular opinions in my book. So make of that what you will. But the first one, Pepe can be a misunderstood genius, and Pepe can stay. What I mean by that is he's never going to be our talisman. He's never going to be our Mo Salah, our Eden Hazard. You know, he's never going to be one of them. He's never going to justify or probably hit all of them variables to justify 70 million. Not that it's that. That doesn't mean he can't be a good player. I think he can be utilized. I think he has improved as a player. I'd actually think, as much as I've criticized Arteta for not playing him and whatnot, not this season, he's made him a better all-round player. Now, the penny needs to drop for him, but you get the point. So I do think, that's one unpopular opinion. I don't think Pepe is amazing, but yeah, a man said I'm trying to get clipped and go viral on Twitter. You know that's not me, man. I'm just happy to say my opinions. Definitely not trying to, to be fair, if you're gonna get clipped, you're gonna get clipped in it. But I would say, yeah, Pepe can stay for one. I like Rob Holding, and what I mean by that is he could be sold. He could be sold. He could Newcastle. If you want him, you got more money in your wallet. Come and get him. But I don't think he's bad. Sometimes he does some naive stuff, of course. I think he's a competent squad option. I don't think he's bad. I do think he's a leader. I think he's more vocal than people give him credit for, and you see it with Saka. I do think he's up for the big games. I do like how he carries on. So I like Rob Holding, and I just feel away from Holding would be part of my plans unless I can find another centre half. It would be Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White. They're all playing ahead of you next season. Holding, you could be the fourth choice, and someone has to probably be the fifth. Maybe let Chambers run down his deal or sell him or bring someone else in. I don't really rate Marie, and that's the next one. Marie's not good enough. I'm sorry, I don't think he's as good a reader of a game as people give him credit for. He's probably not the best of passes. He has got a pass, but he's not the best of passes. He's actually quite naive. He actually spreads nervousness to his defense. I don't think he's actually that good of an organizer. So yeah, I don't think I think Holding's better than Marie, and I don't think Marie's good enough for this thing. And I think Marie's a waste of money. Personally, I'll always support him. He get that right, but I just think Marie's fucking shit. Pardon my language. I do think the Leno hate is unnecessary. There's been times he's underwhelmed. There's been times that I get frustrated that it's almost like he has a divine right, but people make out like he's been a bad player and he's never been 30. So there's that. I think people are disrespectful to Aubameyang. Yes, you can talk about his form, but it's almost like people forget you can't rely on your past lows, but people forget what he's done. So I think people are quite disrespectful to Aubameyang and need to remember. Tavares scares me is another one. I think he excites me and scares me in the sense of I think you're shaky defensively, man. Very shaky defensively, but you're good going forward. And I think if you could work with him, he might be something. But it scares me that I don't know what I'm getting. And really, I'm kind of looking at it now. Really, Teenage, if Tavares is looking good in training, maybe you're getting to that stage where maybe Tavares might have to get a look and see what he can do with his first start. If he grabs his opportunity, Tierney, maybe you have to sit on the bench and wait your time. I wouldn't quite do that yet, but I think that's one to be said. I personally think Balogun's not ready for this thing yet. And I'll back him all the way, but I think he needs to go on loan or he needs to be given his 10 minutes, his 20 minutes, his occasional start to get him there. I don't think Balogun's ready for this thing. I think fans have overrated Balogun extremely a lot because of the whole contract stuff. But I still think he's got quality and I think he could have a future. But I don't think he's ready for this thing. I think Xhaka's a good player. I think Xhaka is a bit of a misunderstood player, but I just think our over-reliance on Xhaka is going to kill us, really and truly, is another one. I don't think Xhaka is as good as his fanboys make out. I don't think he's as bad as people get onto him. I think the club will never advance until we move away from our over-reliance on Xhaka in the middle of the park. And even if we get into a situation where evidently against Brighton where he didn't play, there is some logic. Xhaka could have helped us, even though there's been games where we've played rubbish and Xhaka's been there. But even for me, that scares me more. Even if you're in the situation where you say we miss Xhaka, like we used to say we miss Xhaka and David Luiz, even though it was right, that tells you where you are as a club. If they're the man that you need to make the difference. That's just what I'm saying. I also feel finally in that regards, for me, we need a keeper or two, because again, I don't really rate the young players, Conquer and Carl Hein. I think they're all right. They need to go on loan or play. Listen, for me, if they're in the first team, if anything happens to Leno or Ramsdale, they're ready to move up the ramps and be called upon. I don't think they're levels. I don't think Arthur Okonkwo is ready. I don't think my man is ready as well, Carl Hein. But yeah, so we might need a keeper or two. One centre mid would make me happy. I think we need two centre mids that can do what Xhaka does or improve that. Me personally, I would like a striker. But I would be, if you can find me like an Alexis Sanchez who can play off that left. I know that has ramifications for a lot of players, but if you could find me someone that's going to grab goals off the left, I'd prefer that, really and truly. If we get onto some unpopular Arteta opinions, I think there's a lot of overreaction of the handling of Martinelli. And what I mean by that is I am concerned with the lack of football he's getting, of course, but I think there's an overreaction. Man, acting like he's a world-class player just sitting on the bench. He's got a lot to learn on, and there's a lot of tactical reasons for him not being in the team. Smith Rowe's locked down that left-hand side. Pepe and Saka have also done that before. Aubameyang's been shoehorned over there. I'm not agreeing with these things, but there's stuff. As much as I'm saying that Arteta needs to play man more, Xhaka shouldn't be vital to our midfield. This is unpopular Arteta opinions. He shouldn't be vital to our midfield. And you, as a midfielder who played for this club and played in the Premier League, and your technical director, your love interest on Xhaka is only going to take you so far. You're not going to return to Europe with Xhaka in your midfield. And I want to be wrong in that regards, but you're not. You're not. And when you rely on these certain players, the foundation is not strong enough. They're not. He shows the good, bad, the ugly. The Xhaka against City, the Xhaka against Spurs, two different very players. And we go through these moments with these players. 5 games, they're amazing. 5 games, they're shaky. Me, I'm tired of those moments personally. And yeah, I want to say for me personally, I need to see a plan. I need to see Arsenal be a bit more direct. I don't see Arteta's plan beyond shoehorning Smith Rowe and Odegaard in the team. And a lot of fans were crying, oh my God, how are they going to play? You can't have both. Signing Odegaard's going to harm Smith Rowe, blah, blah, blah. There's 38 games in the league and however many up in the cups typically. But there's games for both. There's games for one. I think against Brighton, obviously, in hindsight, that was a game for one. Now, in hindsight, Smith Rowe played the best in that game. It was a game for Smith Rowe. And I think I need to see a plan from the over-reliance on them two. I need to see you have the confidence to take one out. And I need to see a bit more directness, because I do think if we had a bit more direct wingers against Brighton, we might have fared a bit better, because their fullbacks wouldn't have got forward as much, people. So I need to see a bit more of a plan, and I need to see a bit more stability, like your first choice 11. But I need to see you able to chop and change where you can. Now, to be fair, he did it against Spurs, against Brighton. I'm not going to say he shouldn't have changed the team, because we drew. We've got 10 points from a possible whatever. But I did feel it maybe go free at the back and whatever. And generally with Arteta, your lack of game management and fixing and being proactive, I do think that might cost you at some point, people. So I would say that would be some of my quote unquote unpopular opinions, if you could say such, people. So yeah, that would be it, really.